Greetings. Welcome to this podcast. The topic is the gig economy, earning and thriving in a freelance world. From 9 to 5 to freedom, how to thrive in the gig economy. A few years ago, I found myself stuck in the endless grind of a 9 to 5 job. The alarm would go off at 6 a.m., and I'd groggily roll out of bed, rush through my morning routine, and commute to an office that felt more like a cage than a place of opportunity. Despite working hard, the feeling of being stuck in the same routine every day was getting overwhelming. The job just didn't excite me anymore. One day, while sipping my coffee during a lunch break, I overheard a conversation between two co-workers. They were talking about their side hustles, freelancing in graphic design, writing, and even digital marketing. I was curious but skeptical. How do they have time for all that? I thought. But then, one of them shared how they'd made more money from their freelance gigs in just 1 month than they did in their 9 to 5 salary. That was the moment it clicked. The next week, I stayed up late, researching everything I could about freelancing. I watched videos, read blogs, and made a plan. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was willing to take the leap. Fast forward a couple of months, and I quit my 9 to 5 job to go full-time as a freelancer. At first, it was nerve-wracking. But as I landed my first few clients, I realized I was making money on my terms, choosing projects I was passionate about, setting my own schedule, and yes, no longer sitting in that stuffy office every day. It wasn't just about the freedom to work from home, it was the freedom to choose how I spent my time, how I grew my career, and how I balanced my life. Today, I'm thriving in the gig economy, and I can honestly say it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Imagine this: you're sitting at a cafe with a cappuccino in hand, the gentle hum of conversations around you, and your laptop open to a project that pays you more than your full-time job ever did. You're not alone at the cafe, your peers are scattered across the globe, all working remotely, all thriving in their own freelance journeys. Sound dreamy? This is the gig economy in action, and today we're diving into how to earn and thrive in a freelance world. Let's talk about Sarah. A few months ago, she was working at a corporate office, rushing to make deadlines, caught up in the 9 to 5 grind. She hated it. She craved flexibility. So, she made the leap into freelancing. Fast forward to today, Sarah is earning double what she did at her old job, and the best part? She works from anywhere in the world. From a coffee shop in Bali to a cozy corner at home, she controls her schedule and workload. Freelancing turned out to be not just a career shift but a lifestyle transformation. One of the most inspiring moments for Sarah happened at a local deli. She was networking with a fellow freelancer over coffee and a sandwich. The conversation shifted from struggles to triumphs. Her new friend had managed to quit a full-time job and now travels the world while still landing big gigs in marketing. They shared tips: leverage your niche, use platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, and build a brand that sells. This simple exchange of knowledge, priceless. Freelancing is all about connection, community, and working smart, not just hard. A few years ago, I was sitting in my cubicle at a 9 to 5 job, staring at the same spreadsheet for the umpteenth time. The idea of being stuck in that same routine for another year or even another month made me feel trapped. One day, a coworker came by and mentioned that she had just secured her first freelance project as a web designer. That simple sentence was the spark that lit up my mind. I thought, why not me? The very next day, I started researching how to freelance and, within a couple of weeks, I had my first paying client. It was a terrifying leap, but also one of the most rewarding decisions I ever made. Now, I work on my terms, set my own rates, and never have to sit in a cubicle again. It wasn't easy, but it's been worth every ounce of hustle. A friend of mine, Tim, took his freelancing journey to the next level when he realized that networking was more important than any marketing strategy he had read about. Tim was a freelance copywriter for a while, but his client base was small, and his income fluctuated. One evening, at a local event for creatives, he ran into a marketing manager from a big tech company. They talked about the challenges of producing engaging content in a crowded market. Tim gave a few insightful suggestions, just out of pure enthusiasm. The next week, he was hired for a long-term contract with that company. Tim's success story wasn't just about his skills, it was about the relationships he built and the networks he cultivated. Networking isn't just about exchanging business cards, it's about sharing ideas and learning from others, which can lead to unexpected opportunities. I remember my first year of freelancing like it was yesterday. I was excited, full of ideas, and ready to take on the world. I took on every project that came my way, big and small, just to make sure I was earning. I quickly learned a crucial lesson: not all clients are created equal. One client, for instance, kept changing the scope of work after we agreed on everything, and it became clear that they didn't understand how freelancing worked. I was caught in a cycle of doing extra work for little pay, and my excitement turned into burnout. That experience taught me to set clear expectations from the start. Now, I've learned how to create contracts, communicate effectively with clients, and most importantly, say no when a project isn't worth my time. Freelancing isn't just about making money, it's about making sure your time is valued. There was a time when I was living in a small city and dreaming of traveling the world. But the idea of taking time off from a full-time job seemed impossible. Then, I stumbled across the idea of being a digital nomad freelancing while traveling. It felt like a distant dream, but one I was determined to chase. Fast forward a few months, and I was sitting in a cafe in Lisbon, working on a project for a startup back in New York. I had made the leap from the 9-to-5 grind to a fully flexible freelance life. I was earning well, working on projects that excited me, and enjoying the freedom to explore new places. The flexibility of freelancing opened doors to a life I never imagined. It's not just about working from home, it's about working from anywhere. The world becomes your office. Last year, I had a call with a new client who was hesitant to hire me for a big project. They were worried about trusting a freelancer, especially for something that would impact their brand's image. So, I invited them to meet in person for a casual chat over coffee. What started as a business meeting turned into a friendly conversation, with me sharing personal stories about my freelancing journey. By the end of the hour, the client was comfortable with me and the project. We shook hands, and the deal was sealed. Sometimes, the key to landing a client is not just about proving your skills on paper but showing your authenticity and building a relationship. A coffee and a sandwich turned out to be the best sales pitch I ever gave. One of my favorite stories involves how I ended up doing a freelance project I never imagined would be in my wheelhouse. I was contacted by a fashion designer who needed help creating product descriptions for her new line of eco-friendly clothing. Initially, I hesitated because fashion wasn't something I had written about before. But I decided to take a chance and dive into the project. To my surprise, the process was incredibly rewarding. I learned a lot about the sustainable fashion industry, and the project was so successful that it led to more writing gigs in that niche. Freelancing has a funny way of presenting opportunities in unexpected places. Sometimes the projects you least expect to enjoy turn out to be the ones you're most passionate about. Viewers FAQs. What are the best freelance jobs to start in 2025? Freelance graphic design, content writing, web development, and digital marketing are expected to grow in demand. Choose a field where you can quickly showcase your skills and build a portfolio. How do I get clients as a freelancer? Start by building an online portfolio, networking via social media, and joining freelance platforms like Upwork or Freelancer. Word of mouth and referrals are also powerful tools. Can I really earn a full-time income as a freelancer? Yes, it's possible to earn a full-time income, especially if you focus on high-value services like programming, design, or copywriting. Over time, you'll learn how to scale your business, build your brand, and increase your rates. How do I manage my time effectively as a freelancer? The key to managing your time is creating a structured routine. Set work hours, use productivity tools like time tracking apps, and break down your tasks into manageable chunks. What are the biggest challenges freelancers face? The main challenges include inconsistent income, handling clients, and managing time effectively. Learning to manage finances and setting clear expectations with clients will make the freelance experience smoother. Build a personal brand, define your niche, showcase your work, and develop an online presence that reflects your style and expertise. Network aggressively, even remotely. Building connections can lead to more gigs. Join online communities, attend virtual events, and engage on social media. Manage finances wisely, set aside money for taxes, invest in insurance, and budget for slow months. Financial discipline is crucial for freelance success. Diversify income streams, don't rely on a single client. Multiple gigs ensure more stability and increased earning potential. Invest in your skills, stay up to date with new tools, certifications, and trends in your field to remain competitive. Disclaimer: this content is for informational purposes only and reflects general advice on freelance work and career development. It is not financial advice and should not be considered as such. Always do your research and seek professional guidance when needed.